about this week. We talked a little bit about K-guard, okay? The technique that we worked on Tuesday, we executed a little bit of a passover, right? We were here. We used our legs to stomp our partner's weight to their far leg, pass the leg over, break them down to a hip, right? And then we were starting to work, okay? So what we're gonna talk about today, okay, is gonna be kind of a little bit of a different approach that allows us to create back exposure, but also it allows us to kind of move our partner into a very predictable set of actions where we can break them down and start to put them into submission sequences. So this kind of version of K-guard that we're going to play today is going to kind of start on the inside and go to the outside, but what I want us to do to kind of get warmed up is really work on hand fighting. So your partner's kind of just going to be in front of you. We're going to do this for kind of like 2 minutes top and bottom. And what they're going to do is they're just going to kind of be looking to break you down onto your side. Okay, so once your partner's broken you down onto your side here, like this, what we're going to look to do is we're going to look to, again, misdirect this on here, okay? So however you want to do that, and then similar to last week, I would love for us to, again, use this back heel motion to pull our body in and then get our K-guard here. Just like this. So you're kind of just going to flow with your partner. They're going to be on top of you. They're going to break you down. You're going to hand fight. And you're going to get right into the position. Okay? We're going to do this kind of for 2 minutes. Just flow, warm up a little bit. Once we get done with this, we'll get started with the technique. 3, 2, 1. We kind of talked about this last class, but one of the very powerful things about K-guard as a tool, and kind of like the function of K-guard is it's very, very easy for me to control the orientation of my partner's knee. Okay? So if my partner's knees face me, then they can direct a lot of pressure onto me and they can smash me. And a lot of people, when they play K-guard, their biggest complaint is that they get smashed, which makes sense. It's a very, very common reaction. So one of my favorite things to kind of do when I feel my partner kind of trying to like drop their knee into my stomach or like kind of just play a little bit lower and back step more is I kind of like playing with this variation here. So again, we're going to be in the position, and if you want to drill the entry we did last class where you're kind of like on your side here like a pseudo Balahiva, hooking the heel, and then going in here, right? So this is a question that Dan asked earlier, and I kind of want to clarify again. The difference between a high hook and a low hook, and we talked about this last week, but again, we want to understand that orientation derives function. So I should not be switching aimlessly between these two hooks. There should be a very, very direct reason for why I'm doing these things, okay? So the main reason that I like to play up here is if my partner is kind of playing more upright, I feel like if I have this, I can kind of climb his back with my legs more and then push his weight. And specifically if I'm doing leg locks, that's kind of going to be my modus operandi. But if he's, again, crushing me more and I can't really control the direction his knee is facing, then this is when I'm going to play lower here. Because now I can physically keep your knee away from me and then rotate into submissions. And it doesn't need to be as complex as a leg lock entry. It can be as easy as here, lowering the hook, and then sweeping our partner down with a tripod sweep, okay? But when I lower my hook, it's generally, again, going to be to keep my partner's knee facing away from me so that I can sweep them, or at least keep the pressure off me so that I can rotate. Now, let's say we're here, and our partner starts, again, kind of putting this downward pressure, exactly here, like this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to step, and now from here, I bring my knee to my chest, and I'm going to make a chopping motion with my heel. This is pretty much just a Balahiva. But it's very important that you keep this point of control because we're entering a Balahiva guard that's creating shearing force on the actual leg itself. With this orientation of my arms and my leg, it's very easy for me to put my partner's knee on the ground here, like this. And if he tries to back step into my leg, a simple C cup here will suffice in preventing that from happening. And I can also move into counter leg locks on my partner. Those of you that know the butterfly block, it's very, very easy to do that. So, again, one more time, we're here. Hooking. We feel our partner starting to put downward pressure, so we step to buy ourselves time to remove, and we put our Delahiva hook in. Now from here, I'm going to pull my partner's ankle and heel across my chest as I back heel my heel to the ground, here, just like this. Now, it's very important that, similar to what Danny was talking about when he was here, we do not go gooey with our leg here. We're creating a support that is going to be replaced by my own arm. I'm going to go here, I'm going to reach for the hip, and now as I come forward, I fit my knee in here, and I get this over back grip here, okay? So, what we're going to start off with, simple Karate Kid and take the back. I'm going to Karate Kid, face my hips the other way, seatbelt, and now a lot of people, guys, they try to pull here. And your partner's hip's never gonna fall because you're supporting it with your own leg. So what I do is I create a gap, and then I suck his hip into that space. And again, now it's gonna be really easy to get my hook in, or if he chooses to defend by putting his hand on his hip, I can trap him up. Okay? So one more time. My partner's over the top of us. Again, you can either hand fight by getting the arm away from the waist and then going into the position, or we're in a Delahiva guard, our partner pops our hook, so we immediately start moving into K guard here. My partner starts putting downward pressure on me, so I step to create time, and now, again, now from here, I'm going to lift my hip up and get my hook in. I pull my partner's, again, it's very easy to get my partner's hip to fall. I pull my partner's heel across my chest, I bring my knee into this space as I grab the hip, Karate Kid, and take the back. All right. Yep, Adam, can I get you? So, we're here, we're in our K guard, we're stepping. As our partner drops their weight, we take our leg out, and we create a Delahiva. Now we pull our partner's heel across our chest, and again, you can ask Adam, you have to go to the mat. Yep. Now from here, I look to get my knee behind my partner's knee as I get an over back grip, and I Karate Kid to get my hip in. Again, I'm creating space for his hip. I pull his hip into that space, getting my hook, and taking it back. Any questions on this, guys? Questions? All right, guys, let's do this shot. 3, 2, 1. One more time, guys. The main thing I'm saying is understand whenever you do any technique, okay, it's like climbing a ladder. If you skip rungs on the ladder, you are going to get to the top faster, but you are also more likely to get injured and fall. So there's going to be situations where you're going to have to assess your risk, and you are going to have to skip some rungs, especially if time is not on your side, if we're speaking in a competitive setting. However, in general, I would like for us to kind of have this idea that when we can, we climb the ladder sequentially and a step at a time, so that we never fall and we're in control the whole time, and ultimately we still get to our destination. So we're here in our K guard, and I saw a lot of people framing on the hip here. This will work, but it is kind of creating a confined space for your leg to come all the way through. If you're more mobile, it's not really going to be an issue for you. But what I would kind of recommend instead is more of this kind of wrapping your toes over the top of your partner's lap, and as you push, you hook here, like this. And this also just is really good at keeping my partner from facing me, okay? One more thing, guys. Again, there is an outside Ashi counter here, okay? He can take his leg, cross them, exactly, and start working into submissions on you. So the way I prevent that from happening when I'm in the position, okay, if I feel and first of all, guys, I'm never doing this. This is just, you're giving your partner a heel here. We're not doing this. So again, I'm kind of allowing my foot to kind of just stay here. As soon as he goes to wink his knee down, I just C-grip behind the hamstring. Okay? And I can actually put him into a leg lock now. I'm not going to go into that now, but it's very, very easy to counter, and I can put this leg into an outside Ashi and start breaking him down. So what we're going to kind of talk about now is we're in the position, and for whatever reason, our partner starts coming in to face us. So a lot of times, what they're going to do is they're going to sit their hip back here, and they're going to start trying to face us here like this. So now what I'm going to do, guys, is we're going to go into literally step for step the seated katagatame that we did last week, where we reach up, And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna shrimp my hips out and I grab the instep of my knee, just like we talked about earlier, okay? So again, I'm here, he starts coming in to face me, so I reach over the top, I escape my hips, and I grab, okay? This is a point of control, okay? As well as my path to a submission. So even if you're not comfortable with the headlock, although with the right mechanics, you should feel comfortable with it, you can always use this to sweep, okay? So from this position, there are 2 ways that I can finish this headlock, okay? I can, if my partner allows me to, by kind of now coming in to face me and getting their hip off of me, I go for the regular finish, where again, guys, you'll notice I'm bringing my right knee to my chest to pull my partner's arm across their body. Now it comes to the hip, and remember what we talked about earlier. When you finish the seated katakatame, we don't have one shoulder higher than the other, just like the guillotine. Instead, we put our shoulders in a flat plane here like this, and now I do a hip crunch, bringing my right elbow to my right knee. Okay? You do not need long arms, you don't need to be strong. It's all mechanics. So, that was finish number 1. However, instead, if your partner's kind of more staying here and you can't get your hips out, we're going to elect for a mounted finish where we take our foot, we hook here, and we sweep our partner. Now again, I fall. Oh, sorry. You okay? Yeah. You're good. So, as you fall to your hip, you're going to get an extremely tight guillotine again, because as you fall to your hip, it pushes the arm across. Adam, can I use you? Okay. All right. So, we're here. I get my hook in. Here, right? My partner starts coming in to face me. So I sit up, and I grab my knee. Now again, I have 2 ways of finishing. I can either strip my hips out, or again, what's going to be more probable is what's happening right here, where Adam kind of stays on top of me. I bring my foot in, and I sweep my partner over. Here. Now I'm going to fall on my right side. As I fall on my right side, it pushes my partner's elbow across. And we do the same thing. Okay? Any questions on this? Questions? All right, one more time. We're here. K-guard, stepping, getting the hook in, breaking our partner down. Our partner comes to face us. So we grab, again right now, I could probably shrimp out, and again, if they sit their hip down, you step it back. But if I want to, sweep my partner over, I fall on his elbow to pull it across, and then guys, even though I'm on my side, I keep the same mechanics. Pretend your back's on the mat, put your shoulders in the same line, hip crunch. It does not matter where the floor is. Just picture that the floor is where your back is. Finish it the same way, shoulders in the same line, crunch through. Practice these. If you have questions, I'll come around and help. 3, 2. And my philosophy when it comes to jiu-jitsu is we should not engage in practices that capitalize off of an error in our partner's judgment. My jiu-jitsu is based off of high-level thinking, people making the right decisions, and I capitalize on them with the right decision. So, most people are told to rotate, right? Bruno Frazado, who was a friend of me, he's in office. He's a multiple-time world champion, very, very strong practitioner. He talks about all the time, if your partner has a grip on you and it's not doing anything, you don't need to break it, right? So if my partner is rotating and it is not actually aiding in their escape, then I'm not going to stop the rotation. Again, if you think about a fall, right? It's not the fall that kills you. It's that sudden stop when you hit the ground. It's when that 900 meters per second square goes to 0, right? So, any position, right? We can talk about, we'll use cross offshoot because it's naturally weak to rotational escapes. If I'm in a position where Adam is going to start rotating, okay, then I'm just going to use some simple kind of, geometry to get ahead of his roll here. So the first option that I have is following his roll this way, okay? So as Adam goes to roll, I don't keep my head away from my hands, okay? Because now, Again, I'm already behind. And he's already pushing himself out. It's over. So, what I always do whenever I'm doing leg locks is I want to think about myself as a pencil, not a cone. Have you seen the way a cone rolls? It's small, exactly, right? It always rolls away. I'm tight like a pencil, which means when he rolls, I'm always able to get ahead of it. So, in general, you want to invert with your head between your partner's knees. And I don't mean here. I mean in between your partner's knees. Like this. Now, again, I can follow my partner's roll, get my head in between, and then again, break. But there is also another thing to do, which is allow my partner to rotate and then reattach. So Oliver Taza is extremely good at this. What he'll do is he'll take a shotgun grip here like this, and when he feels his partner going to rotate, he comes up to his knee, rotate all the way. Like just a fall. And he lets them stick themselves right back in cross option. Okay? So literally, if they're just over-rotating, you get a good control at the end of the lever, you come up to your knee, you let them over-rotate, and then you pull yourself back in. You can catch knee bars or you can catch the heels, they re-rotate. So that's kind of two schools of thought. You either go with the rotation and get in front of it, or you rotate the opposite way and catch it on the other side. Another way we can apply this concept is foot underneath. If my partner, okay, is always going to outroll me this way, right? As Adam goes to roll that way, I roll this way. You see how our rotation meets in the middle? It's my job to get the heel before our rotation meets, and then when our rotation meets, our forces shear his knee apart. Does that make sense? So because I'm rotating my hips one way and he's rotating his hips the other way, when our rotations meet, I have to get the heel by that point, and then I simply allow his rotation to shear his knee in half. Make sense?